and welcome to the Magnet Pool, where we dive into Miami-Dade's most innovative and exciting magnet programs that make Miami-Dade County Public Schools your best choice in education. I'm Dr. Felicia Joseph, District Director in the Office of Innovation and Advancement, and your host for today. Today, we are spotlighting a school that is rich with legacy and spans over generations. A brand new program is being introduced and redefining what legacy looks like for the future. Miami-Killian Senior High is the cornerstone of the Kendall community since 1966. The school is known for its Cougar pride, its championship spirit, and its tradition and excellence in both on and off the field. Now that legacy is evolving, we're launching something truly groundbreaking: SportsPLEX at Miami-Killian Senior High, a first-of-its-kind magnet program that transforms passion of sports into real-world career pathways. Joining me today is Dr. Earl Berth, Principal of Miami-Killian Senior High, and Mr. Mark Barnett, Activities Director. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Let's start with the heart of this story. Miami-Killian isn't just a school. It's a legacy in the community. Generations of families, championship moments, and a deep sense of pride for all who have experienced Cougar pride, including my son, by the way. Killian has such a rich history in the community. So what does Cougar pride really mean, and how has that legacy been shaped over the school years?
Well, this is my third year at Miami-Killian. Cougar pride is just simply how it goes, green and gold. And when I say that, it's old tradition and it's new. I think about when I graduated from high school down south, and looking outside, Killian was always known as a school that just was very good in athletics as well as academics, and that's just how it was. And once I was appointed to become the principal, when I walked into the building, you could see it. You see it exude out of the kids, the way they walk the hallways, and just pride. And anybody you talk to, the letter K comes out, right? So I have family members that have graduated from Miami-Killian, and anytime you talk to them, they always talk about the K. That's where it is, the K, green and gold. Last year we had a 50-year reunion, and that's when I saw it from an older perspective of students that graduate from Miami-Killian. Man, they came there, they had a good time. We met doctors and other professionals that left numbers and say, if anything you need from us, let us know and we'll be here. And that spells Cougar pride. Also, if you look at the last Jurassic Park, there's a gentleman there who plays there who actually graduated from Killian as well. So when he came to the school, he was supposed to be there at 8, and we were going to introduce him. He was already there at 7 o'clock, walking around the building, reminiscing about his time at Miami-Killian Senior High School. And it's examples like that when we talk about just Cougar pride. And even to my right, Mr. Mark Barnett, I call him Mr. Exciting, Activities Director. Again, this gentleman's been there 35 years, and you talk about Cougar pride. I see it every day with him and around the campus. So that is what Cougar pride is all about.
Definitely sounds rich in some place where I know when I was in high school, I actually was a rival of Killian at Palmetto. But after my son was introduced to Killian and had the opportunity to walk the halls and participate, even with you, Mr. Barnett, I can see where that green and gold truly gets ingrained in those who walk those hallways. So that's an awesome way to vision that school. So now as we're reimagining the way we're preparing students through SportsPLEX, let's give our parents who are at home or the families who may be watching an understanding of what SportsPLEX truly means. Because when I hear that as the non-athlete, right, I know I might look like a track star, not so much. But when I hear SportsPLEX, I think, oh, this is where the athletes would go. So help us to understand what may be the difference between this program and a traditional athletic program in Dade County.
Well, when you think of SportsPLEX, you're right. That's the first thing that people think sports. We have visited to date 20 schools to tell them about the new program that's coming to Miami-Killian. So SportsPLEX is actually allow the kids to look behind sports, right? So if you're participating in a sport, that's good. If you're on the field, on the diamond, on the basketball court. However, we're giving you prerequisites. from the academic side, so you can learn about the body, how the body works.
Okay.
You learn about media and how you can advertise for the sport. Innovation, where you learn ways to make the sports better. And if you're an athlete that suppose you got hurt, well, now you have an opportunity to make this a career path for you. So when you come to Killian, you have the opportunity to do both. One, to learn academically about sports, and two, you get to participate in sports as well. And when you leave, you will be a well-rounded student that will have Cougar pride.
Sounds awesome. So I know that there's 4 distinct strands or tracks that students can participate in. So can you walk us through what each of those strands may look like and what families or students who are participating should be able to expect from those strands?
So you have the first one, you have sports performance and injury prevention. Just as it says, performance. You're learning about your body, how to take care of your body while you participate in the sport. So you just take care of yourself. And what it allows you to do is to prevent yourself from being injured. Not only you, but you can also help other people and help yourself while you participate in sports. The second one is sports business and management. With that one, you're learning about law. And everybody want to know about contracts and budgets and things of that nature. You're learning those things, how to write the contract so you would indeed protect the athlete, right? Because that's what it's about. I want to make money. You learn how to do that through law. And then you want to also market your a sport that you're working with. So that's very, very important. That's the second strand. And the third one is sports media and creative design. That's where you're using technology to promote, right? And when we think about that, we think about YouTube and Reels. If you look at Facebook right now, you get Reels. That's what this is all about. You can learn this here at Killian through this particular strand. And again, what if you want to work for ESPN? You could be a broadcaster. You can learn the prerequisites to that right now. And then last but not least, you have sports technology and innovation. Again, I go back to creating things to make the sports interesting. So if you think about it, baseball, when you think about an umpire, before in my younger days, the umpire stood behind the catcher, looked and determined what was a strike zone, what was a strike, what was a ball. But now because of innovation, when you look at baseball, there's actually a square there that shows where the ball is, right? And that's innovation. Think about football. When I played football, and when you see NFL football from the past, you would look at a camera on the sideline. It would zone in or zoom in so you can see. That's not the case anymore. You actually have cameras that's above the field, that's moving down the field as the players are. It's in the huddles with the players. So again, those are the 4 strands that you have, and I can assure you, you will be when you leave, you will have prerequisites if you decide to go into sports, but you will also be a good athlete as well.
Well, that's wonderful to hear how Killian is pushing forward, not just from an athletic standpoint, but also how to become a career pathway in this particular field. What is important for families to understand or know about who this program is really for, right? Is it the athlete that needs to come in? Is it the student who is already making YouTube videos and working in innovation? Who is this program for? And maybe what prerequisites, if any, are needed to come into the program?
Well, I would say we want all students, right? So we don't want to have no preconceived notions. We want the kid that has a 2.0, but we want the kid that has a 3.5. We want the kid that's an athlete, but we want the kid who wants to learn to be an athlete. We want to just bring everything together from the academic side as well as the sports side of the equation and make the kid well-rounded. And so being out in the schools that we visited, we've had a chance to talk to the kids about, what's going on. We've been able to get them paperwork to take home to parents, but we just want them to know we want you. We want every kid that want to come, that don't want to come, but take a visit, come and see. And I can guarantee you'll want to be at Miami-Dade.
I think that's so important, is to know that what's important in that school community is making students feel welcome and knowing that there's something for everybody. At least that's what it sounds like, right?
Yeah, and I think that, a lot of magnet programs have GPA requirements that prevent certain kids from getting involved. And in our case, that's not the case. We're ready to accept students. And at the moment, if you have the 2.0, you're good to go. And I also wanted to say that this is kind of like a whole athlete thing. Let's assume that you don't want to play sports, right? But you are interested in sports as a career. And I'm a perfect example of somebody who really was never good enough to play any sport, but loved sports. And had there been a magnet when I was a kid that was, sports related, it probably would have attracted me. So I think this is something that not only, okay, if you come and play football at Killian because our football coach is amazing and our football team is amazing, you're going to be a better football player. But this is also really about sports as a career path. So it's really the whole athlete that we're making better.
That is wonderful to know. And I think it also would get them ready, even if it's not just for a single career, but also for options and opportunities that go beyond just high school, but into college as well,
Yes.
right? Learning, like you say, how to take care of yourself, your body, nutrition.
Physical therapy, I'm sorry to interrupt, but physical
No
therapy
worries.
is a huge part of, there's a lot of students that want to be involved in physical therapy, and injury and prevention is right there with that.
So it's pretty much a doorway for so much
Absolutely.
more past just a traditional athlete that we would normally think of when we think SportsPLEX. So, and everyone thinks of, the athlete, the jock, right?
Yep.
But what we do know about Killian is you guys are actually an A-rated school in the state of Florida, which means that academics are also a big priority for you as a school and as a community. So how will SportsPLEX maintain that strong academic expectation while delivering that hands-on career, school to career experience for the students?
Well, it's just an add-on, right? Being that you said we have Cambridge and we have AP courses, which speaks to rigor. So now you bring in another magnet program of the kids that maybe don't want to be in Cambridge, maybe not AP classes. However, they want to come and be part of the sports magnet. And what it does is, as you said, give them a career path to something great, right? And sometimes people don't know what they want to be, right? I never thought that I was going to be a math teacher. Lo and behold, that's what I did. And so just the opportunity. So coming there and again, making a whole student, participating in athletics, however, but being strong in the classroom. And that's what we strive for at Miami-Killian. And that's been the case for my first 2 years there.
Back-to-back A school.
Back to back. We're going for 3. I would say 3 strikes we're out, right? But it's 3-peat, not 3 strikes we're out. 3 strikes we're in.
Right.
All right. So that's wonderful. Now, Killian is not new to Magnet, right? So Killian currently has students enrolled in either the Cambridge program, law program, I believe iPrep program. So I guess my question would be, how do those existing programs lend themselves to SportsPLEX, and does a student have to necessarily choose Cambridge or SportsPLEX? Like, what does that look like for a student who may be applying for next school year?
Well, right now, just come in. It all merges together, right? As we spoke about, like sports business and management, that's law. So if you taking law, you're learning now about the law aspect of athletics, right? Writing contracts, right? Doing what is right by the athlete. But we're talking athlete, but guess what? This is a career path for you. So you're actually making a living from that. And then you have Cambridge. You come there and you can earn college credits through AP and Cambridge. You take the 7 courses. Look, you get a free 100% Bright Futures scholarship. Not only that, but you get that diploma. So that
The Cambridge classes are embedded inside of the SportsPLEX as
Okay.
well. So you could take, your Cambridge classes while you were in the SportsPLEX.
So I don't have to
No.
choose one or the other.
No.
Rather, I can kind of melt them together.
They are together, and you would be able to as well with law.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And I am much familiar about the Cambridge program at Killian and what it offers for students, because my own son benefited from that 100% scholarship.
But don't forget the dual enrollment aspect, right? So that's expanded now. So, we're looking to tag on with FIU as well as Miami-Dade. So there's a plethora of opportunities for students to work through the SportsPLEX and do the other magnets as well.
Definitely here where legacy is being built and created for the future. So that is wonderful to have both worlds, both the rigor and that real world application. So I guess I would ask both of you, I think you called him
Mr. Excitement.
Mr. Excitement.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Excitement,
Yes.
Mr. Barnett,
Yes.
what excites you as the activities director about launching this program for the next generation of students?
Well, there's an incredible amount of excitement outside of the building because we were talking about Cougar Pride before. There's so many people that have graduated from Killian that are so excited about it. And my phone and my email it's blown up over people that can't wait to get in. There's so many students now, well, they're grown-ups, they're physical therapists, or they're involved in online gaming, or they're involved in, they work for the Marlins or they work for the Dolphins, and these people are reaching out to me, chomping at the bit to get inside the building, to talk to the kids, to guest speak former athletes. So that makes me excited that there's so many people outside of the building that can't wait to get in, and we're looking forward to it as well. And then on another kind of selfish perspective, I'm the activities director. So the more people in the building, the more excitement in the gym. If I can have 1,000 people in the gym screaming, it's better than having 600 people in the gym. So I'm really excited about, getting some of our students back and filling up the gym and the football games and the prom and the homecoming. So that excites me. What excites me is that people are going to want to be back in the building, and having people back in the building brings what I do for a living. Yes, the energy.
Absolutely. So I kind of feel your energy right now across the table. Only thing is my son's already graduated. Trust me, if he were still there, I would be more than happy to see what happens here. So what kind of culture, Dr. Berth, are you hoping to build through or continue to build, right? Because you've been at Killian for a couple years now. So what kind of culture do you hope to continue to build through SportsPLEX?
Well, just the culture of knowing if you come to Killian, we're going to make you a round student, right? And what I mean by that, you're going to become academically strong, as well as possibly becoming a better athlete, receiving a scholarship, whether it's in academics or athletics. So, I mean, just building that culture. You can learn, feel safe, the building's clean. When your parents turn you over to us, they know that, hey, we're going to take care of you in all aspects. We're going to make sure, again, that you learn, and that you learn. We're going to also have it where if you participate in athletics, you're going to learn. So when you walk out, you're going to have Cougar pride when you turn around and say, I'm a well-rounded student in academics as well as athletics.
That's awesome.
Dr. Berth has created the ideal environment for education. It's been a few years, and the place is ripe for this magnet. It's at the perfect timing.
That's awesome. So we are right on time with the SportsPLEX.
Yes.
I love that. I love that. So it's the end of the application season as we know it, right, in Magnet. So if I have a child who's going into 9th grade or 10th or 11th, what does that look like for that student who may want to apply now to Killian?
Okay. So repeat the question just one more time. What if you have, say it again, I'm sorry.
What if I have a student who's going into 9th or 10th grade,
Right.
They're interested in SportsPLEX now that they've heard all about it, but as far as a parent may know, the Magnet season is closed.
But you can change. So I wanted to say that one of the things that we said in every one of our speeches is we told the kids, we were in, we're in a cafeteria, and there's 200 8th graders. And one of the first things I say is that we know that most of you have selected, and we know that some of you have already been accepted, right? But you can change your mind. So I'm going to present this great program, and if you have a desire to change your mind, do it.
And that's that. And like he said, that's what we start out with. Hey, we understand that some of you have chosen. However, it's not too late to change. And when we present we present what it's all about, and it's interesting. So raise your hand if you're interested in receiving the information, and a whole bunch of hands go up, right? So in order to get people to see, you got to get the information out to them. Right. And when you get the information out to them, and it's just interesting as they sit and they ask questions. They ask questions, and they do ask a lot of questions. So, I mean, this is like Mr. Barnett said, it's right now
awesome.
To introduce
So for those
this
families who still want to apply, we do have open seat enrollment applications.
Take a tour.
They can take a tour at Killian, and might just stand with 2 feet in and not leave the building. So that's wonderful.
Yes. Oh, listen, I will say this here: the parents that have come to take a tour, They're Cougars now.
They're
They're going to have
Cougars.
Cougar pride.
All right.
Yes.
I can feel it. I feel your energy, which brings me to our final question of today. We ask every guest that comes on our show, because every program has that special spark that draws students and families in. What is your magnet pull, and what makes SportsPLEX and Miami-Killian Senior High the best choice for students and families?
Well, what is our magnet pull? Our magnet pull is, if you want to be strong academically while learning how to play sports, Miami-Killian is the place that you need to be. Your best choice is Miami-Killian Senior High School.
Right. Sounds like that well-rounded student belongs at
Absolutely.
K. Well, we thank you guys for joining us today and for sharing how Miami-Killian is honoring the legacy with building something new, bold, and innovative for the future. And a big thank you to our viewers and our listeners, as well as Miami Community News for their partnership in bringing the stories of our schools to the community. To our families listening, remember that Miami-Dade County Public Schools offers hundreds of magnet programs across the district, giving students the opportunity to explore their passions and discover new pathways for learning. And right now, families can still apply to open seat magnet applications by visiting us at dateschools.net. Families can stay connected and never miss an opportunity by following us on social media at Miami Magnets. That's it for this episode of The Magnet Pull. Keep being drawn to what inspires you, and we'll see you next time.